Oi, oi, oi. Good morning or good afternoon, rather, everyone. What am I doing here? I'm still in breakfast settings. Let's reboot that. As you can see, we've got the fridge freezer. My brother Hook's in the building, man. Big up to him, man. And obviously, I'm double grateful for having him in the building. We're going to talk about what constitutes a 10 out of 10 window. We probably might disagree with it. We're going to run through transfer bits and all that. But while we're getting warmed up, Hooks, how you doing, brother? Big up, man. Thank you very much for dropping by.
Yeah, not too bad, man. The weather's nice. The season's done, so just really paying attention to like all the different transfer stories, and just trying to figure out in my mind like what do I actually want to see Arsenal do this year. A lot of like what I've seen so far has been pretty promising, but yeah, I guess we're not really gonna know how active we're gonna be until the season officially ends. Outside of that, I'm looking forward to seeing what Arteta's gonna say after our final home game of the season. He's probably gonna give a speech, and I guess with that speech, we'll be able to kind of allude to like what next season might be like. Will he be here? Won't he be here? If he is here, what's the message he's putting across? All of that good stuff, and yeah, just preparing for a holiday, going to America in June. So yeah.
Lovely, man.
All it really is, man. All it really is.
You know, you're a massive fucker. So hopefully you got room to smuggle me into that suitcase, because I never been to America, man. Do you know what I mean? You want to cram me in that case? I don't care how I get there, as long as I get there, man. Do you know what I mean? Well, I'll tell you what, you're smashing it. You're smashing it. Nearly 6K going on now. Do you know what I mean? You can afford to bring me along, bruv. What we doing?
Nah, man, we're not there yet, man.
Come on, bruv.
We soon get there, man. But you have to go, man. Like,
yeah.
Why haven't you gone to America yet, man? I don't know, like.
I don't know. My missus ain't American, but she's her family are American. There's just been 1,000 reasons to go. But do you know what? Well, like I've got a little young kid, yeah. Well, I've got two actually. I've got a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old. And the next we will go. We want to go to Disney World. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hope they don't bloody watch this stream back. But yeah, we're gonna wait for my little princess, my little 4-year-old girl, to get till she's about 6 or 7, because it's pointless. You go there and she's just gonna miss out so much on it. Do you know what I mean? But we will get out there. Before COVID, to be fair, I was going to go to Vegas on a stag do with some of my mates. But COVID done COVID things, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? It ruined a lot of things for a lot of people. Listen, as well, to just touch on that, the worst thing that happened to me in COVID was not being able to go to there, and losing my business, by the way. You know, a lot of people lost a lot more. Do you know what I mean? So I will put that in there. But listen, man, let's have a little chat about it, because I want to warm ourselves up. Yeah, we're seeing in the news and all of that we've got 100 mil to spend. I don't know about you, Hooksy, bruv, but I hope that is wrong. They're saying there's 100 mil to spend, and it all depends on player sales. I mean, depending on whether we're going to let one of the big boys go, I don't think there's tons of money to be made in the deadwood, if you want to call it that. Surely we've got to have more than 100 mil, wouldn't we, bruv? Come on, man.
Like, truth be told, like, so the story originally it came out from Sky Sports, and it did say minimum 100 million. So I think it's rage baiting. That's what I think it is. I think it's rage baiting, because if you think about it logically, yeah, the story came out, but Arsenal pretty much already have Zubimendi. I say pretty much. I understand it can still change, but it's something that Arsenal's committed to. Like, we know we have a verbal agreement. So I think 50, 60 million, however much it is, that's already a portion of money that we've committed to. Yeah. Then there's all of the Gyökeres stuff going around now, where it's come out that we pretty much have an agreement in place for a 5-year deal. Sporting are willing to do the deal for around 58, 60 million pounds. So just with those two players alone, we've already gone over 100 million. And this is why I don't necessarily believe the story, because of the activity that we're already talking about. We've already surpassed that. And then if you then go into another rumor, which is not as advanced, but it does seem like a market opportunity that would interest Arsenal, there's Rodrigo. So there's no way that like we would even entertain, the rumors around and the situation of Rodrigo if we was only going to spend 100 million, excluding any sales. Because let's be real, like you said, what money can we really generate? Like, look, Zinchenko may leave, but he probably won't command the big fee. Jorginho's leaving on a free, so we're not going to get any fee. But yeah, fair play. We get a bit of money back in terms of wages. Kiwior, who I'm hearing now that we're actually trying to keep him, whether he stays or not, I guess is down to his ambition. I guess how much first team football he wants. Then obviously you got the likes of Jesus, who can't be sold because he's injured. You got Lokonga coming back, who, yeah, cool, we can sell. You got Tavares, that I think it's a 7-8 million euro. Like, I would be very surprised. Obviously, Martinelli, Trossard maybe as well. But the thing is with Trossard, if we try and command too big of a fee, clubs might just go, you know what, let's just wait until January and approach to sign him on a free, which they can well and do. So the biggest amount of money that we're really looking at is probably if we sell Martinelli. But then the question is, will we sell Martinelli? So I don't believe that 100 million thing. And I also don't believe that Berta, who really and truly, any club that was looking for a new director of football or chooses to look for a new director of football, he can pretty much walk into anywhere he wants. He's not going to sign for Arsenal if the board have gone to him, yeah, you've only got 100 million to spend without making sales. So, yeah, I just think it's rage bait. Come, Aaron, we know, like, when it comes to Arsenal, you know, you just post something and you get super engagement because all the Arsenal fans online are real trigger happy. And when they see something they like or don't like, they get super involved. So I wouldn't be too concerned about it as an Arsenal fan personally. But we'll find out.
Hooks, brother, I'm so glad you decided to go into that first, because I was going to try and steer it down the avenue of sales anyway. And like the fucking fridge freezer that you are, you've took it down there anyway. So what I wanted to do is bring up and start with the sales. And I always bring up a list of the squad players we have. Of course, it doesn't include the loans. Tavares that you mentioned, bruv, that's an obligation. So he's done, he's dusted. One of the obviously only other 3 players that we've got out on loan is Lokonga. I mentioned earlier on my thing. Sevilla ain't going to be accepting that, so we're going to have to get rid of him. No more than 5 or 10, even if we get that. And of course, you've got the Reece Nelsons and the Fabio Vieiras. They're the loanies coming back. But I always like to have the squad up here with the wages as well. This will make your eyes wince if you haven't looked at it already. So, like, we're not doing this specifically for the wages. The wages are just coupled in there because it gives you a squad list of the players. For me, like, and this is what Berta's coming into, what constitutes a 10 out of 10 window? And we're saying here, we've got a lot of players to get rid of. Now, let's not start with the heavy hitters, yeah? So let's sort of go down to the Zinchenko's, yeah? He's got 1 year left on his deal. Hooksy, world-class chat. Big up, like and subscribe. I will get halftime Hooksy's link pinned in the chat in 2 seconds once I finish doing this. When Hooksy speaks next, I'll do that. He's on 150k a week from 20k at Man City, by the way, bruv. His agent is doing bits to get him that kind of deal. But he's got 1 year left on his deal. What kind of money are we generating? Because there's probably going to be clubs that are looking at Zinchenko and thinking, yeah, 150k a week. Yeah, maybe not. Are you going to get 10 million for him? 15 million? Is that, I mean, I don't know. And then you're looking at the likes of, let's get it right. I would sell Mikel Merino and Calafiori given the choice. Maybe less so Calafiori, because I get that he's a young defender. He's been injured and all that. I would get the counter argument with Calafiori that he needs to be maybe given a bit more of a chance. I totally get that. But like the wages there, then you've got, of course, Kieran Tierney going. That's a bit of a shame. Jorginho. Then you've got the Tomiyasus. You've got the Trossard. What's happening with him? We've all seen reports. Hooksy, you've said it as well. Is he going to sign a new deal? Maybe. You don't know. But Kiwior, you just mentioned. You know, you're looking at, let's just say the Kiwior, the Trossards, the Tomiyasus, the Zinchenkos. There's 4 players there who are, I think almost all people, definitely the 3, but the 4 would say, yeah, you're going to get rid of. You're not generating no more than, what, 50 million there. With the loanies there, you know, Fabio Vieiras, are you going to get much cash generated from there? Reece Nelson, 10, 15. You know, player sales, unless you sell a big hit, Hooksy, bruv, you're not really getting massive cash. So when you're sort of saying, and you hit the nail on the head, bruv, 100 million, that's got to be farcical. It's clickbait, it's rage bait, whatever one you want to call it, innit, bruv? It just factually is that. But you made an excellent point, by the way. But surely ain't coming to club for them to just go, oh, yeah, by the way, you know, you got 100 million and make your own money, geezer.
Yeah. Yeah.
The point I'm trying to say is, and that I want to lead to now is outside them players that are the sure ones on the transfer list. Would you put any of the other ones up for sale? And I'm looking at two players in particular, bruv. Martinelli and Martin Odegaard.
So the thing is, the thing is that I think the thing that we need to consider as Arsenal fans as well is our squad's not really in a position where we can sell too many people, because then we just fall deeper into our squad depth ain't really there. Like, there's a lot of people that have complained about the quality of the bench. If we do go and sell like an Odegaard and even a Martinelli, even though I think Martinelli does, I think Martinelli is probably the one asset that I would bank on we need to sell to generate money. It is going to affect our squad depth. Like, as much as I think that Marino, at least for the position he was signed for, hasn't turned out too great, I usually give like players that come from foreign leagues at least 2 seasons before I properly judge them. We can't even really sell him anyway, because then our midfield becomes even weaker. Calafiori, cool. I know that there's been interest from AC Milan, but the problem is, if we sell Ricardo Calafiori, we then have to worry about another left back, because Tierney's leaving, Zinchenko may be leaving. Like, our squad, yeah, is actually in a really bad place. Like, if you think about it logistically, our squad is in a really, really bad place. And that's probably why Berta has been tasked with giving a lot of these players new contracts. Like Saliba, he has to work on that one. Partey, seems like Partey's willing to snub moves from Saudi to extend with Arsenal. That's another deal that he's had to work on. Like, he's going to have to work on the Gabriel deal. Like, we need, there's a, bearing in mind, this list gets a lot smaller as well, considering Sterling and Neto leave because they're on loan. Yeah, Nelson comes back. Fabio Vieira comes back. I imagine we keep Vieira. He's had a really good season in Porto, and that will probably make the club go, you know what? Maybe we give him another season, see what happens. But the squad is just, it's not squadding, man. There's too many players in there.
Fabio Vieira, 3 seasons that'd be for him.
Yeah.
Arsenal, you know, like you said, and I agree with you, actually, the 2-season mark, I am open. I get that. Like, I may be a tiny bit harsher, but I'm not going to debate it, because I also totally get 2 seasons, especially for a young player. Yeah. I totally get that. Does he deserve another third? Do you reckon? Does he, Fabio Vieira? I can see us keeping him, probably more so out of the fact that we can't get good enough money for him. But then that, I suppose, in turn, will probably hurt us even more next year, because we'll probably get even less money for him. I'm going to bring a point that you just made, because again, you're smashing it. Yeah. We have left ourselves in such a poor state in terms of squad. And why I always like to bring this up is because of also the wages. And I know I said it's not going to be about the wages, but you're looking there and you're thinking, I would personally sell Kai Havertz, Jesus, and start again. If we could sign who we sort of think is realistic, I'll get Gyökeres and Jonathan David in, and I would try and sell Havertz, and I'd rip up the contract to Jesus. I know that's not business savvy for the Jesus part, but basically the point I'm trying to make is I'd start again. I'd just go, do you know what? We might just have to hold a bit of an L, because as you said, he's not going to be back until November next year, because he's injured, or this year, sorry. He's not going to be fully fit until probably December, January. Then by that time, he's got a year and a half left on his deal. His value's plummeting. He's on 265k a week. I'm sitting there thinking, could you imagine, you know, you got rid of Kai Havertz, you got rid of Jesus, you ripped off his contract. Oh, it might cost you a couple of quid, but what it would cost you to rip up Jesus's contract probably would have cost you to sign Jonathan David. And if he don't work out, you could probably just sell him in a year's time anyway.
I think he's already looked at. I think he's already gone to Napoli. Or I think it's already. Yeah, I think it's all. Well, I think it's already like super advanced with Napoli. So I'm not sure about the. Okay. And truth be told, since like we first got kind of linked with David and him being like available on a free, I haven't heard too much. I haven't seen too much reported links with Dave, at least in like the last month. I haven't really seen anything. So I don't even know if we have any real interest in him.
Yeah.
To be honest, I would. So the ripping up of
poor, just quickly before you go there, do you not think though that sort of is what Prome's saying here? There's loads of free agents. Market opportunities is the phrase that's always batted around now, Hooks. Do you not think we should start dipping our toes in opportunities like that? Because over 5 years, we haven't really gone for a lot of market opportunities, have we? We need to start exploring some of these avenues a little bit better. Do you not think?
the problem is though, like it's all well and good getting Jonathan David on a free, but because he's not commanding a fee, his camp know that they can get more wages. We're already in a position where we shouldn't really be giving that caliber of player more money than he's actually worth. Because then, I mean, it's easy to say, yeah, bring him in on a free, but say we give him like 220, which would probably be around the mark. I would say somewhere between. Yeah, I think because he's a free.
150.
Yeah, but I think because he's a free transfer, his camp will try and negotiate higher salaries because we're not paying a fee for him. So I think
that's not where the signing on fee comes in, though, Hooks. Do you not think like I know obviously that's also money. I get that is also money. Giving someone like a 5 mil signing on fee and 150, okay, yeah, you get it, you get the wages, you get the 5 mil. I'm batting a figure, I don't know, of course, bro. But like, if it don't work out, you could get 30+ million for him next season. You'd still make money off him. You'd still have the free shot of the gamble, and then you'd still earn money off him, though, wouldn't you?
It depends on the wages because let's just say,
100.
like, all right, so we have to believe that Berta is good. This is the part he's going to be really good at, is bringing in players but not putting them on stupid wages, like being able to somehow entice them to join in the club without offering them stupid wages.
Yeah.
To be fair, the last, so for example, Marino, Calafiori, and Raya, our last 3 signings, I believe, haven't really came in on too higher wages. The only person that came in on super high wages was Kai Havertz and then Declan Rice. But Declan Rice, I feel, is justified. Like we paid 100 odd million for him. The Kai Havertz one, like a lot of people will be mad with it, but we have to look at the wages that he was on at Chelsea. So when we signed him, we was always going to have to give him more than what he was on at Chelsea. So, and we didn't give him too much more than what he was on.
Let me counter that though, Hooks, because this is where our opinions on that slightly differ. So I get what you're saying. You know, he's probably going to everyone wants more money when they go to a different job, right? But let me counter that by saying he was on 265 or 255 at Chelsea, yeah? Was he worth that at Chelsea? So when I say that when we're negotiating, you can't go, well, okay, he was on that much money. He wasn't worth that much money at Chelsea. So we should have been going in there. And it's hard negotiating that. I totally get it. You know, it's difficult to negotiate. But if it was me, and it's easy to say because I don't negotiate for Arsenal Football Club, I'd have gone, yeah, Kai, look, listen, we paid 65 mils for you. That's a lot of dough. But you're not worth 250k a week, mate. And then, you know what I mean? Like, I just sort of think there's, just because that's what you're on, don't mean to say you deserve more. He didn't do enough at Chelsea. I personally, in my opinion, for me to warrant giving him a pay rise.
He won them a Champions League.
Yeah, I get that. And I do get it. That's a moment. And that's a moment he will have. I get that. Yeah. But in 3 or 4 years, whatever's there, I think it was 3. I mean, aside from that moment, and it's a massive moment. It's a massive moment that will always remain.
Club World Cup as well. He won them the club. I'm pretty sure he won them the Club World Cup as well.
I'm not too sure on that. So I'll take your word for that. I don't know. I really don't know. So I'm not going to pretend.
I'm pretty sure he scored in both finals. I'm pretty sure.
But the point is, let me just get it plain here. Is Kai Havertz worth 280k a week?
So
it's not, is he? Like
I don't know. You know, I honestly I don't. Okay, so look at it like this. Yeah, we people can say whatever they want to say about Havertz, but he's been injured since February. He's still our top goal scorer.
Yeah, so maybe he's the squad, is it not?
Yeah, but maybe it's not enough for us. But he's outperforming the rest of the squad. So, like Havertz or any player, their wages aren't going to be measured against what we think about them. Their wages are measured against what they deliver and what the club thinks about them. And from a club's perspective, it's very hard to go to a player, oh, we don't think you justify your wages when your output is the highest in the squad at the moment. Do you get what I'm saying? So that we can fans can have their opinion. And again, also with the so I think, cool. I think for all of the people that don't like Havertz, the Kai Havertz signing, they should be making Arteta hold that L. Because the club,
I agree with
the club didn't want to do this deal. Like the club, Edu, didn't want to do this deal. Now, it's very hard for Edu and the club to negotiate better wages when they probably know that they can't, but they're putting their faith in Arteta because Arteta's going leaps and bounds saying, no, I need this guy. This is the guy I need. This is my number one. Make sure you go and get him. Arteta's putting a lot of pressure on the club to go and do this. So, and that may be one of the reasons why he's losing a bit of power when it comes to transfers. Maybe that is him shooting himself in his foot. And it does seem like he's, with Berta coming in, a lot of those transfer responsibilities and kind of power is being a bit of alleviated. It all makes sense, right? But me personally, I've been very open about this. I like Kai Havertz as a player. And it only seems mad now because he is our highest earner. But when we bring in, I don't know, the likes of Rodrigo, Gyökeres will probably get close to him. Zubimendi won't. But Saka's new contract probably gets more money than him. Saliba's new contract probably gets more money than him. Gabriel's new contract probably gets very close to him. Yeah. Declan Rice, when we renegotiate a contract, probably earns more than him. Same with Ødegaard. If we end up renegotiating another contract, probably earns more than him. He's going to go from being our highest earner, but not delivering what the fans want, which makes us view him in a certain way, to no longer being our highest earner.
So one thing I will say in that, sorry, one thing I will say that then is, like you said, he's going to get caught up. Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from with that. Yeah, he will get caught up in terms of wages, facts. But as a striker, when Victor Gyökeres comes in, not only would that, then you'd presume Victor Gyökeres will be knocking, assuming we get Victor Gyökeres, by the way. He'll be knocking on that door of wage. You'd expect, wouldn't you? Let's just get that right. He's going to be knocking on the 250.
No, less than that. So, if we go,
give that to him, because if I'm Victor Gyökeres, hold on one second, let me land this. If I'm Victor Gyökeres, and this is the problem, I think we've handcuffed ourselves when we look at this. If I'm coming in at Victor Gyökeres and I'm Victor Gyökeres' agent, and I'm like, all right, well, this information is readily available for Aaron Talks Arsenal. It's definitely available for Victor Gyökeres' agent. All right, so Kai's on 280. He might, if our highest earner, especially as the strikers, are on 280 and 265, if they were on 150, 160 or 200, Victor Gyökeres is going, yeah, I want 200. If I'm his agent and I'm going, how much is Kai Havertz? Who's your highest wage? Oh, Kai Havertz and Jesus, 280 and 265. All right, we want 300. Arsenal are going to go, all right, we've handcuffed ourselves a little bit with what we're doing. So what I was saying about these strikers here is these two, Kai Havertz and Jesus, they'll be demoted now to second and third choice. And they're on 545k a week, bruv. Like, that's the
point. But you know,
that's a lot of dough on the bench, bruv.
But you know what it is? Like, you have to take in a lot of context. So if we go according to reports, it's all we can go at the moment. Arsenal are willing to double Gyökeres' wages. Yeah. So we'll be giving him like, so what we will end up giving him is like, I think 7 to 8 million euros a year. Yeah. Which I think equates to like somewhere between 165k to 200k a week. Yeah.
That's what I think he's worth. Yeah.
Now, to us, when we look at like, oh, Kai Havertz is on 280, Jesus is on 265. He's definitely better than both of them as a striker. Oh, he might want more. But to him, his money is getting doubled. So he's happy because his money's just been doubled. And I think the conversation is very easy from a negotiation standpoint as well. If they ever did raise that, is Arsenal could just say, hey, we're looking to change up our wage structure, and these are problems that will be solved, if not this window or the next window, definitely over the next 3-4 windows, we're going to be readjusting our salary structure. So it's very easy to like dodge having to give Gyökeres more than Havertz or Jesus. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. And my thing's always been, cool, Jesus won. I think if he didn't get injured, he gets sold this summer anyway. So that's a...
You think so? You think someone's still going to buy him, even though he's going to be injured for the next 4 months?
No, I meant if he didn't get injured.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
I think we would have sold him in the summer. So it's unlucky. He got injured. Unlucky. It is what it is, right? Now, with Havertz, it's only a problem with Havertz if what he's earning stops us from signing the likes of Gyökeres and Zubimendi and Rodrigo or whoever. And so far, it seems like it won't. So to me, it's a non-issue that can be solved at any point in the future.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, like I don't 100% agree with you, but the thing is, and this is why I'm liking new hooks as well. Do you know what I mean? You've come over to the light side. He's come over. Oh, listen, chat. There's 9 of you in the building. Yeah, his link is pinned. Yeah, in the chat. Go on over and give him a subscribe because he's new hooks now. He's not no nasty evil Sith motherfucker talking crap no more. He's a boy. He's come over. Come on, man. We finally got him to the light side.
I've always spoken this way. It's just when I go on to like big panels where there's panels of people, everybody just wants to attack Arsenal and me. So I have to pull out the sword. Do you get me? I pull out the shield and the sword and I go to battle. But when I sit down and I actually talk to people about football, I'm a very level-headed, balanced guy. Do you know what I mean?
But just quickly, yeah, before I move it on to talking about who we think we're going to bring in, totally un-Arsenal related. I've been playing this PlayStation game recently, and I've seen your thing. You quite like anime, and you like the samurai things and all of that, which is why I sort of put it in Shane chat the other day. Bro, I'm playing this game called Ghost of Tsushima, and mate. Oh shit, son! What a game, mate! Like what a game! I won't spend much time on it, but I just thought I think that might be right up your street. Engaging the look on your face, yeah, mate. Like I'm nearly all the way through it, and that game I've got the PS5. It's like the Director's Cut thing edition or whatever. That game is awesome, man. So if anyone else is looking for a game to play on PS5 or whatever platforms it's on, bro, that is cold. But listen, man, but we've obviously gone through what he's got to go out, man. Just quickly to summarize it, how many players do you think he's going to be selling this summer? 4, 5? How many do we need to sell? Is Martinelli and Odegaard going to be in their hooks? Martinelli and Odegaard, or are we keeping them?
It's hard to say. I think maybe... we'll sell maybe 3 to 4 players. Or actually, do you know what? I think maybe 4 to 5 players will leave Arsenal.
Yeah, not including the freeze. Like, say if Jorginho wants to go, that's not.
Oh no, I'm including I'm including Jorginho.
Oh, are you? Oh, exclude.
Maybe 3 to 4 players then.
Yeah. None of the big hitters. So no Martinelli's, no Odegaard's.
The thing is, there's players I can look at and be like, you probably can be sold, but will you be sold? That's I don't know, like, because I don't know how Berta wants to operate. Like, for example, say Fabio Vieira, he's worth 35 million. I think that's how much we bought him for. Let's just say he's worth 35 million. Yeah. Is Berta willing to take a hit on that 35 million to make space and create room financially for someone else? Or is he someone that the players that he has, he's a very strong negotiator and wants to get more than what they're worth? And if he can't get more than what they're worth, then he would rather just keep them. This is the only aspect of Berta I don't know yet. I haven't heard him speak too much about his plans or anything like that. There's Lokonga. you would probably look at Lokonga and say, you know what? Same with Reece Nelson. You lot are probably out the door. But is Berta willing to take less than what they're worth, or does he want to try and get a gain on them? With Reece Nelson, anything is a gain because he's from the academy, so that's pure profit. But Lokonga, do you want to make more than what you bought him for? Are you willing to hold that, or maybe do you go, like, do you know what, Arteta? Let's reintegrate him back into the squad, because then that means we can spend money elsewhere. I don't know what any of his plans are going to be. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe they go, Lokonga is a good option off the bench. I don't know. Like, so it's hard to say, but I would say with the likes of Jorginho leaving, Zinchenko probably leaves.
Yeah.
Martinelli, I want to leave, but whether he does or not, I don't know. Trossard, again, I want to leave. Whether he does or not, I don't know.
Would you go Trossard and Martinelli leave? Like, because if you give me the option of the two, if we needed the money, because that just adds to another income, and again, if both go, if we needed the money, sell Martinelli and go get me a Rodrigo. We'll get into this. But like, I wouldn't mind if we didn't need the money per se. I wouldn't mind Martinelli staying because of the longevity of him. That's the only reason. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the Trossard's obviously 2 years at best, sort of thing. That'd be the only thing. But obviously, that's just so many ifs, buts, and maybes with that. You know what I mean? There's loads of ifs, buts, and maybes with that. One of the things I will say about the Bert thing, and one thing I will say is there's another take I want to have on that before we move to the incomings, is that I hope he's ruthless enough. Now, you're saying about Fabio Vieira, and I know you know he's not worth that anyway. We bought him for 35. We're going to take a loss on him. We're not getting par back. We're going to take a loss. One of the things I think is an actual perk is that he didn't sign him. So, you know what I mean? It's not like he's got to go through the personal shame of, you know, like I signed him for 35 million and now I've only just got 15 of them. Do you know what I mean? That's Arteta and Edu's deal there. Do you know what I mean? That's their problem. So I think that would work in our favour, in that he might just go, Fabio Vieira, 15, 20 million. Not my signing, not my mistake. Get him out the building. I'm here to raise some funds. Reece Nelson, I know he's a young lad, 100% thing, 15, 10, 15, whatever. And like for the other ones, not my signings, not my problem. You want some money? Let me sell them. This is your problem, Mikel. This is your problem, Edu. So I hope they take it sort of like from that sort of angle. Do you know what I mean? Because I want more funds, bruv. I know, you know what I mean? They don't come in our pockets, Hooks, but we also outlay on the other way around a lot of money out of our pockets. To go and watch this football club, whether it be via your subscription to watching them on the telly, whether it be going down the boozer even and drinking beers, whether it be going at the stadium, merch, this or that other. We all collectively, regardless of how we support them, spend money on this club. And we want to see them make these signings. So that's what I want to see, a bit of aggression. But look, we've got on the incomings, we've got a lot of business to do. I've put 10-ish sort of positions. We probably will not be getting all of them. Let's get it right. But goalkeeper, I want to sort of get your take on this, because I've seen us linked with, is it Garcia? 26 million, I think's the there or thereabouts sort of figure on this. This is my take, and then I want to come in on yours as well. If we had limitless money, go and spend it. Get 26 million on him. Absolutely. Go and do that if that's your thing. For me personally, I would like to sign a Kasper Schmeichel sort of signing, purely because if we're not given 100 million, but let's say something realistic. Let's just say 200 million. I reckon I think we could probably there or thereabouts agree that that's our budget, give or take. Yeah. I think spending 25 quid or 25 million quid, obviously, on another goalkeeper again, I'm like looking now and thinking I'd probably rather that spent elsewhere. So I would go down the route of go and get a Kasper Schmeichel out of Celtic for 2 million, keep him there for 1 or 2 years, and then just move on to another more important thing. What would you do? Would you try and get another goalkeeper in to challenge Raya, like the Ramsdale thing? Would you try and get a better one and then create another sale? Blah. What's your record on the goalkeeping take?
So me personally, I'm fine with whatever we do. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know like a whole host of goalkeepers that we could bring in. But the only thing that I do want is whoever we do bring in as the second goalkeeper can play very similarly to how Raya plays, because that's a very core element of how we play. So if the backup goalkeeper cannot play to a similar level or similar style of Raya, then there's no point in signing them because Arteta just won't play them. So I think
we signed Norbert Netter though.
Yeah, but he's
on a free as a backup thing, and that's what I'm sort of saying. A cheap free.
Yeah, but how often did he play?
Once, and then he tried diving out of his area.
Yeah, there we go. Like, so I don't want there to be too much of a gap between our number one and our number two, because then that means our number two most likely won't get used. And we could run into a similar scenario like we did with Neto. It would be a bit reversed because we're going to sign someone before we even play in the League Cup. But let's just say we get knocked out of the League Cup in the first round. I mean, touch wood that we don't, pause, but say we do. That backup goalkeeper, that's a whole set of games they're just not playing now. Say we end up getting knocked out early in the FA Cup, whole set of games they're not playing.
When you look at the years, though, over the years, Hooks, like, ain't that really what number two goalkeepers are for? Because we had Aaron Ramsdale, who, you know what I mean? This was our number one keeper for 2 years. Then we had Raya in, and he didn't even play. So the point is, then I can counter what you're saying there is saying, all right, let's say we go for a Garcia or a 25 million, 30 million like for like goalkeeper who can do what he can do with his feet. Only one of them is still going to play because we've learned that this manager will play his favourite anyway. So then by that logic, what's the point in spending 25 million quid on an equally good goalkeeper who's good with his feet who also won't play, as opposed to a £2 million goalkeeper that also won't play?
No, I understand what you're saying. The only thing I will say is signing someone like Garcia, basically what you're doing is you're parting way with money now for a good goalkeeper now that can become the first team goalkeeper in the future, rather than waiting until Raya falls off a cliff or something happens with Raya and maybe the manager has a different kind of perspective, or maybe a new manager comes in and wants someone entirely different. I just think if you have a Joan Garcia there's an option there's either an option to sell Raya and make money and then invest in that cheaper goalkeeper, or there's going to be lots of teams in the next 2, 3, 4 years that are going to need a new number one. If we can buy Joan Garcia now for say £25 million, but then can send him on later for 40, 50 million pounds, we're making profit. Because that's one thing that Chelsea does that I really wish that we would start doing is not just sign players to play football. Sign players thinking of how we're going to generate money in the future to operate more, I guess, effectively in future transfer windows. So but at the end of the day, like, I know we need a backup goalkeeper. Part of me is like, I don't really like Carl Hein, but if you was to say to me, Tommy Setford is going to play the League Cup games and then Raya plays all the other games, I'd be fine with that. But let's see. The only thing I don't want is sign Joan Garcia and then that impacts our ability to address areas on field that we need to address. And if it doesn't do that, then I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Big up DJ Crane, man. And big up all the chat as well. We've got 95 in the building. Don't forget, like and subscribe to Halftime Hooks. And if you like what you hear, and drop a like and a cheeky sub to me as well. Yeah, man, look, that's the crux of why I've sort of wanted to make the chat list as well, is because I'm all for everything you said, but in a window with limited money, 25 million on another keeper, not for me. I hear what you're saying, and that's why you got a caveat with. We had a lot more money to spend, yeah, and that's why it's just that tricky. If we've got 200 million and we've say got Zubimendi in for 50, we'll get to them positions. You got say a Rodrigo that you might want to get in, we'll get to that, and then a striker already you're at 200, and then you're like, yeah. But let's just quickly move it on to left back. We don't want to spend too much time on the left back thing. It's been a little bit of a disaster position in my opinion. We've got a phenomenal left back there. I know it's not the way he likes to play with inverted this or that or whatever, but Kieran Tierney leaving for free, not given at least the option to trigger another year in December, was a big mistake. And I actually think Berta will probably look at that and think, wow, what have you guys done here? Zinchenko ain't really worked. Tavares ain't worked. I know we'll be going out on obligation anyway. And then Calafiori ain't quite sort of worked there either, to be fair. Market opportunities for this. I can't see us spending another 20, 30 million on there. but I want to float a name by you. Tarek Mitchell was available on a free from Crystal Palace. Market opportunity. Would you have a bit of that, Hooks?
I would take Tyron Mitchell on a free.
Yeah, I
But
definitely would.
but I know some Crystal Palace fans, and a lot of the opinions on him is very hot and cold. Like there's people that think he's really bad. There's people that think he's really good. Like there's not really any like kind of in the middle. So for me, if it's a free, hey, it's a free. He had prem proven. He's played in the prem. I know he's had a few injuries over the years, but I'm not going to complain at a free transfer. Do you know what I mean? But me personally, a name that I'm looking at, even though I do believe we should give, I think, one more full season to Miles Lewis-Skelly being left back until we then decide whether we're going to progress him into the midfield or not. And maybe that coincides really well with giving Partey an extension, because that gives Skelly another year of learning underneath the likes of Partey, who I assume once Skelly goes into the midfield, it's going to be somewhere around the 6, because obviously he's inverted a lot from left back into the 6.
You think he'll go left 8 MLS?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, maybe, but he's always going to be behind Rice.
Double pivot though, working in a double pivot.
But then we're signing Zubamendi. Yeah. So it's like I don't see the space there. But a name that I would go for, that I actually think is a market opportunity, and is also someone that can invert from left back, and at a stretch could probably play in either the 8 or the 10 as well, is Ait Nouri. He wants to leave Wolves. Yeah. We won't actually have to. 20 million, 25 million. I mean, when you start thinking of limited budgets, maybe it sounds like a lot, but for someone that's played in the Prem, has a lot of experience in the Prem, pretty much plays the left back role exactly how our current manager wants to play it. To me, it seems like a no-brainer. Whether we go in for him,
not a bad shout for that money. It's not a bad shout for that money. Yeah, I sort of said Tarek Mitchell one for the obviously it's free. More as well. I actually agree with you as well on the Miles Lewis-Skelly plan there, and having Tarek Mitchell there. He's coming. He's a free. He's a backup. He'll play in them cup games. Yeah. He'll come on the 80th minute, or for a tactical change. Do we need to suffocate the midfield? Bring Miles Lewis-Skelly in there. We've got another left back who's actually a left back. Do you know what I mean? To play in there. That's how. Yeah. That's the avenue I'll go down. 100% with the left back, man. Yeah.
And go on. Just quickly. DG2, it's not that I want another left back. Like, obviously, I acknowledge with the players that are leaving, we're going to have to address that area of the field. However, the priority for me is work our way from the front of the pitch towards the back of the pitch. We're going to have to address it at some point in the window. Just don't address it before you address the forward areas.
Facts. Yeah, I'm with Hooks DG2 as well. I mean, I get where you're coming from, brother. It's infuriating that we need another left back. But the fact is, we've got Kieran Tierney and Zinchenko likely to leave. We can't just out of principle not sign a left back, because it's a joke that we've signed so many left backs. It's annoying that we have to, but yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I want to go to the right side of centre back as well, because Bill Saliba, when he got injured 2 years ago, coincided with us having some defensive, absolute shower of shit performances that culminated in Manchester City catching up with us while we had 8 points clear. We still haven't signed a right-sided centre-back. We've got that Howson, who's a market opportunity. He's got 50 million release clause, split over 3 rather. I want to throw another name in as well, another market opportunity, and I want your opinion on this. Jonathan Tah, available on a free market opportunity. What do you reckon on these?
He's a bit clumsy though, isn't it? He is a bit clumsy. He's a bit of a clumsy defender. Like, don't get me wrong, he's got loads of experience, but the experience that he does have, do you think he would come to Arsenal knowing that he's going to be playing second fiddle to Saliba? Like, okay. In an ideal
that with anyone, because Saliba's at the top. You can't not sign a right-sided centre back.
Oh, apparently he signed for Bayern.
Yeah, I see that, but I then re-looked and then he hasn't. Yeah,
Okay.
and to be fair, we've got a
Yeah.
buy-in geezer saying he hasn't
Yeah.
signed yet.
Okay.
It's an
So
opportunity.
I think
But Howson, yeah.
Tar on a free, I think is a very good market opportunity. If he was willing to come in, knowing that he's essentially playing second fiddle to Saliba, why not? Do you know what I mean? Why not? Like, I'm not gonna stick my nose up at Tar. Yeah, there's probably other players that I would look at before Tar, but those other players aren't free. And let's be real, with the amount of players that I think both of us know that we need, we're gonna have to dip into the free transfer market. Like we just, well, if we don't, then it will be a mystery to me. It's either we dip into the free transfer market or we're having like a 350 plus million window, which
and then selling well and getting the money and spending it. Yeah. We've got to start looking at that, and that's sort of why I wanted to do all these temperatures, because there are players out there, like, you know, like, say for argument's sake, we did go down the route that we've sort of spoken. Let's just say you're getting a Kasper Schmeichel-esque signing, whether it be 3 or 5 million, you know, and then you get a Tarek Mitchell and keep MLS there, and you get a Tara Housen for 50 million. All of a sudden, at the back, you know, you're looking good for the next 2 years in your goalie department. You're covered to a good extent at left back, and you got right-sided cover. And the thing I like about Housen is, before we move on to the central defensive midfield, is it gives him a year, and God forbid it happens, but if Bill Saliba signs a new contract, doesn't, goes to Real Madrid next year, at least we've got that player, that Housen in there, who I would personally choose to get in, who's had a year of Arsenal, a year next to, in certain games, of Magalhaes, a year next to a Timber, so and so forth. So if Saliba does come, like, does want to go to Real Madrid, these players are like that. He might want to stay for Arsenal this year. Next year, he might go, yeah. I want out. Yeah, I want out.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we get, say, 150 million for him. Well, guess what? Everyone in their nan knows that Arsenal need a right-sided centre-back, and a 50 million pound replacement now turns into 80 million because everyone knows we're desperate. So I just think it'd be a good little contingency plan, not just a contingency plan. Obviously, get quality players in positions, but, you know, should the worst sort of happen, I would be over that Housen deal all day long, bro.
Housen is a very good deal.
All day long.
Like, I would personally be all over the Housen deal, but, well, not but, I would be a bit cheeky. I'd be like, you're in the Milan, like, how much for Bastoni?
Yeah, you reckon? Yeah, you'd be knocking on the door, and
Yeah, like,
why not?
Yeah, like,
arguing.
like Berta's Italian. Like, just ask the question. Like,
Yeah,
what do the figures look like to take Bastoni? Because, like, don't get me wrong, like, if you ask the question and it's like, yeah, we're gonna need north of 100 million, then maybe you park that one to the side and you wait to later on in the window, and maybe if you've generated enough money and you've covered the areas you want to cover, maybe you go out on a limb and go, let's go and get one of the best centre backs in the world. But say you ask the question, and we all know that Italian teams don't have the most amount of cash available anyway. Maybe they come back and they say, you know what? If you give us like 65 M's plus, you know, maybe 10, 15 in like bonuses, add-ons, oh, that's looking like a good deal, especially for Bastoni, one of the best centre backs in the world. So all I want Berta to do this transfer window is to ask questions of players that we all know at clubs that are good. Just ask the question, because I feel like that's something that we haven't, even before Edu. I just feel like Arsenal's a club that's never really shown intent. Like, we've never gone into a window with intent and been like, look how long we was linked to Benzema for. Not once did we send an offer. Not once did we send an offer. Do you know what I mean? So just show intent, ask questions, make it difficult for other teams. That's what we should be doing. What we should also be doing as well is, Liverpool and Man City are interested in X player. Okay, let's throw our hat in. Let's not make it easy for our rivals to improve.
Like what they done with Rice.
Yeah, pretty much
exactly the same. Do you know what as well? And that's a nice little segue as well into sort of like the middle of the park, because we've already got Just quickly, 1 second. I need to email you, Connor. Apologies, brother. Don't worry. Yeah, you'll know. Yeah, it's a nice segue into the middle of the park. And by that, obviously, I mean we've signed Zubamendi. It looks like. Let's get it right. When what's his name, Fabrizio Romano, when he posts something else, something out, it's there or thereabouts done, or it's very, very, very likely. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's I think that's fair to say. So I think we've got that sort of covered. Thomas Partey. I mean, I would be all over 12 months with another option for another 12 months. All over that. I just think that's logical for reasons like you said as well. For like a Miles Lewis Skelly, just for experience to learn from. We remember that Real Madrid midfield of Kroos, Modric, and Casemiro. They signed Jude Bellingham, Camavinga, and Tchouameni at the same time so they could cross over. You're not just going old guards in there, done it. Piss off now. Now we're going to get 3 youngsters in. You just have that nice seamless transition, and that's what I would like us to do with Zubamendi and obviously Miles Lewis Skelly and whoever else we sign. Keep Partey there for another year minimum. Learn from these older heads. You know what I mean? Have that experience. I think that's fair enough. That would be in itself just another less player that we need to sign in that position. But left 8, I mean, I don't know if we're going to go in for another left 8. I think the Rice sort of position sort of there or thereabouts. I can't see us signing another midfielder, to be honest with you. Now that Zubamendi's in, if Partey stays, maybe we'll sign another backup CM. I don't really sort of know, but I think that's sort of half set in stone. But what I do want to do is go up top. So we're a little bit pressed for time as well. The left wing, the position, the Martinelli position.
Just quickly before
go on. Yeah, you're jumping, bro.
I do agree with you. Like, I feel like, cool, if we extend Partey, and then we sign Zubamendi, I think that's the 6 covered. In me personally. At a stretch, you can play Miles Lewis Skelly there. If the worst case happens, if the worst case happens, we can just chuck Declan Rice there for a few games. That area for me is covered. The left 8, even though me and you may not like it, we've got 3 options that can play there. We've got Declan Rice, who I like. We've got Mikel Merino.
I think you're gonna say
Mikel Merino, who I don't like too much. And let's just have it right. He's played Havertz there before. Okay? Let's have it right. He's played Havertz.
Hooks, you've said Havertz on this channel. You might be a little bit new to it, but you've said the name Kai Havertz.
So yeah, I think we're fine there. Now, the one place in midfield I think we do need to address, and there is the most perfect market opportunity. Yeah, that's in the 10. Go and get me Ryan Cherky for what, 22 to 25 million.
How much is available for?
Yeah, like Leon got money issue, like 22 to 25 million. Ryan Cherky, if we don't do that, I'll be so confused. But yeah, for me, I just think in the midfield, we need some sort of creative rotation for Ødegaard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, 100%. The only reason why I probably should have started that because I was going to go left, then centre, then that, and then up top. But yeah, we'll just keep with a cam. I don't know what to do with this because, like, yes, I'm all for, and I might actually contradict myself a little bit here in what I'm saying, and that's absolutely fine if I want to be pulled up on it. But like when I'm thinking of the number 10, I'm like, we've got Ethan Nwaneri there, and I'm thinking he could be such a generational talent. And then I'm thinking we got Max Dowman, and I know, look, he's only 15. I know this. I will say this, and I'll stress this. He's only a kid. He might not be there. But next season, the way he's been tearing it up in the under-18s, we'll see next season if he is or not ready. Yeah. He'll be definitely getting some opportunity. What that opportunity looks like, we don't know. We ain't got no crystal ball, no Mystic Meg shit in there. Do you know what I mean? We don't know. Yeah. But what we would probably calculate and assume is that he's going to get some opportunity another way. Now I'm looking at him thinking that's Nwaneri and that Max Dowman both there as number 10s. If they hit the ceiling, we don't know. That could be unbelievable. Would I be then spending high money? I know Turkey ain't high money. I think that's not a bad signing and way to go for that amount of money. I'm all for that, bruv. But I'm sitting there thinking, I can see why maybe they wouldn't go for a number 10 with that with them players coming through. Albeit we're both in agreement here. Someone like that for 25 million, get him in. If it don't work out, sell him for 50 next year. All for it. Or sell one of the other lot for money. I'm all for that. Whoever's better. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. But yeah, no, we're absolutely in agreement. So there, the left wing, we've known and I always say this on my channel, Martinelli, when he was in his pomp, when he's having his best season under Mikel Arteta, when he was nearly winning that title, in December, he tried signing Modric for 90 million. Madrid, sorry. So we know that regardless of how good or bad Martinelli's been, he knew that that position, that left wing, sorry, I keep saying left wing, was the position he wanted. And I'm looking at, if we can get this geezer, bruv, I think we're both going to be in agreement here. If we can get Rodrigo in for them 75 million, bruv, come on, man. If he is available in any way, shape, or form, we have got to be all over that like flies on shit hooks, bruv. I'm not going to lie, mate.
100%. And do you know what? Do you know what? Maybe signing Rodrigo, you then don't. There's not so much onus for you to need to go out and sign a creative option in the 10, because you can just play Rodrigo in the 10 as well. So the moment that it's been made clear Real Madrid are willing to let Rodrigo leave, Arsenal should be all over it. And from everything I've seen so far, Arsenal understand that they need to be all over it. This is a market opportunity. This is the very, very definition of market opportunity. So it seems like the club has reacted. Now, outside of Rodrigo, I'm maybe one of the few Arsenal fans that think we need to get rid of Martinelli and Trossard and just upgrade on both of them, because I need to see something different on the left wing.
I'm for that.
So if you can bring in like a Rodrigo and then maybe someone.
Sane is available on a free market.
Even that. Actually, I think he might have signed a new. I think he might have extended at Bayern. If he hasn't, though, go and grab a Sane. You know,
both of them on a 75-80.
Yeah. And then if you can, I don't know, like a Semenyo, if you can negotiate like a 40 million on a Semenyo, bring him in. I know, Mbumo, not on the same side, but he's a wing option. Go and grab him 40, 50 million. Maybe even if you can get a Lookman on a decent-ish kind of deal, cool. We're good. Yeah. And then for me, that's left wing done. If you can't get Rodrigo, Arsenal, please go and knock at the Barcelona door for Rafinha. We need a big statement on that left wing. So, but obviously there's others, we're linked to Gittins. He's an option, obviously more of a young, raw potential type guy. So I think if you sign a Gittins, you have to sign someone else. There is Leao. Now Leao, I do think Leao is a baller. He is cold, but my reservations around him are money, work rate, consistency. Because whenever I decide to sit down and actually watch AC Milan play, he always plays bad. Always plays bad. Like literally every time I've watched him, he's played bad. Whenever I watched Portugal, he played bad. So
the money ain't worth the risk with that signing, is there? There are better opportunities for the outlay than Rafael Leao.
But then, do you know what? I would even consider, hey, if we're willing to slap 100 million on Rodrigo, but we can't make that happen because Rodrigo wants to go elsewhere, why can't we go and offer Newcastle 100 million for Gordon?
Well, yeah, I'd all day long, bruv. They've got a sick team, Newcastle. That's another discussion for another time. But they have got a sick team that they've assembled there. And Gordon, absolutely. I'm actually the same as you. I'm surprised you sort of said that. I'm surprised there are Arsenal fans as well that have said they wouldn't sell Martinelli and Trossard. If we can get better players all over the field, I don't care, man. Like I learned this a long time ago, mate. Not to get attached to the manager, not to get attached to the players, because you know what? They're replaceable. And if we can get anything better, why not? Do you know what I mean?
Except for I'm very attached to Saka. He's my nephew.
Saka, yeah, I knew you was going to say that.
I'm sorry. It's just.
What about if Lamau came to the squad? What about if Lamau came in and was doing Lamau things?
Hey,
come on, big man. Come on.
Hey, do you know what?
You're not allowed to push him out to a different position.
No. Hear me out. Hear me out. If Arsenal are serious, go and hit the 1 billion release clause, and then negotiate with Barcelona how you pay it, Yamal on the right, Saka, you can go on the left. Happy days. We don't have to get a left winger
over 20 years, yeah.
Yeah, however we, but Yamal. Well, actually, I'm hearing. Apparently, I think the Spanish whether the Spanish Football Federation is, I think they're trying to block Barcelona from being able to. There's something to do with Yamal's contract, so there may actually be a chance for teams to go and get him without spending too much money. If that arises, and I don't see Arsenal on day one, yeah, we're gonna have big problems.
We got a problem, yeah.
We
got a problem. Well, we're going to finish it up, yeah, because with a striker, and I think this is probably going to be a very, very quick, easy home run of a thing. A front three of Bukayo Saka, front three of Rodrigo, then a front three of Victor Gyökeres. Got to get it done, haven't we, bruv? Come on, man. Like, if we go into the season, Hooksy brother, world-class chat, 100 in the building still, like and subscribe. Hooks' link is pinned in the chat. Give him a sub. If we go into the season with Havertz, Saka, and Martinelli, or we go into the season with Rodrigo, Saka, Gyökeres, bruv, I'm gonna be meh, or I'm gonna be boom. Let's go. That is a front three I can get behind, bruv. Pause.
If we go into the season with Gyökeres, Rodrigo, and Saka as our front three, I promise, yeah, I am renewing my red membership on the Arsenal website, and I will be getting tickets to every home game. I will go to the, you know, when they sell it on the, if you can't get it through the ballot, they go and sell it. I will be buying tickets from there for every single home. Yeah, the exchange, every single home game, because that front three, I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, it's the best in world football. I don't care what anybody says. Like, literally, I honestly don't care what anybody says.
Do you know
the only way you could top it, the actual only way that you could top it is if Liverpool went and signed Isak. That's the only way you could top it. The only way you could top it.
Yeah. That would take the shine off, wouldn't it? Yeah,
100%.
Jam out the fucking donut. Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what as well, yeah, worth me mentioning rather. If you ever fancy a game or two next season, the geezer is always in my chat. He's my chief mod, Daz a Smoke Chew. He's in and out of the game. So do you know what I mean? There's always a seat. Well, not always, but sometimes there's a seat available next to me, bruv.
Hey, if
double the price though, double the price. Do you know what I mean? No, I'm joking.
Oh, double the price. Whoa.
Listen, I'm not.
I was hoping for half the price. Man said double the price.
I'm not sold on your Jedi Master skills just yet, man. I'm still not sure whether you're going to do an Anakin and turn on me yet. So yeah, it's going to be double the price for that.
I'm just saying, Aaron. Yeah. Every single home game that I've gone to at the Emirates, we've won. Every single one. I've never gone to the Emirates and
buy a season ticket for the fucking year, Hooksy. Then and get
for
the year. Come on, man. What we doing here?
The wait list is like 100,000, 200,000, and it costs an arm and a leg. Hey,
it's a joke.
Hey, if I get like 1,000 members on my channel, if I ever hit that number, then yeah, but if I have 1,000 members on my channel, Arsenal will know who I am. So by the way, by then, I'll be telling them, yo, if you want to win the league, make me come to the Emirates, because every time I go, we win. But I do want to go. Next season, my aim is to go to as many home games as possible. And I want to try to at least go to a few away games. I've never been to an away game.
In the Premier League, I actually haven't either. Not in the Premier League. I have been to two, actually. Two. Yeah. But not for a long time. Actually said that.
I want to try and go to the Leeds one, because
the points are difficult to get. I don't know if you know how the way things work with the season ticket. Like, it's one of them things, like, you have to earn your stripes, and I totally get it. But like, you need to be going to, you get like points, and you have to obviously get the points to be able to get to the good games. So all the London games are gone because they're convenient for everyone. So you're literally getting the Newcastle trips, and you have to do that quite a lot. You got to earn your stripes, because people like season ticket. Let's say I'd had good away points and I could go to anyone, and it's like Newcastle away. Yeah, fuck that. That's when you have to then earn your stripes. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's almost impossible. So it's hard to get away tickets legitimately anyway. Like, through, you know what I mean, through legitimate means. But listen, man, I will wrap it up there. I'm going to be redirecting to Deluded Gooners, because I will be jumping on there. So hopefully everyone in this chat, world class chat, still 94 of us in the building. come and join me over there. We'll be automatic redirecting. But don't forget as well, subscribe to Halftime Hooks. It's been a buzzing chat, man. I'm glad you come on. And what you got coming on next, bruv?
I'm gonna be dropping a pre-record at some point today. I did a stream early. If anyone wants to go watch it back and show it some love, and yeah, I'll probably be. I think I'll probably go early tomorrow morning, and then I've got another stream at 11:30 in the morning with Roms, and then yeah, just daily content, man. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to just shell out as much content as possible. You know, so yeah, man. But just make sure you lot are liking the video and subscribing to Aaron, innit? We got to get all the Arsenal fans on crazy numbers on YouTube, innit? Because you know, with one of us blows, all of us blow, innit? So yeah, man, show Aaron some love, man. Love for having me on the channel as well, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And yeah, anytime, man. Hopefully we'll do it again sometime soon on your channel, on this channel. You're always welcome, bruv, man. Come on, you know that, bruv. But yeah, man, big up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for everyone watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe to the pair of us, bringing out proper content. Don't mess around over here. Big up, man. I'll take her out. Now,